Hail and kill, caller. You're on the air.
Hi, guys. This is Jason Lundgren from Seattle, Washington. How you guys been?
We're well. What's on your mind tonight? Are you talking about grandkids?
No, because I don't have grandkids, but I do have like 4 nieces and a nephew. So I don't know. It's not, but still, it's kind of like sort of in the family bloodline.
What's in the bloodline?
Well, since I'm an uncle and my brother had my niece, and my sister and my brother-in-law have like a niece and a nephew, and the other 2 nieces are from like my sister-in-law's.
All right, enough of that. What did you call for?
I'm not
right.
following that at all. But go ahead.
Okay, TMI. All right. Well, right now I'm watching like the Cal UW game, but they delayed that game because of the lightning. So I want to like chat with you guys about like because Chris was mentioning earlier that like he watched the AEW All Out pay-per-view, which was I was gonna buy that, but it was fucking expensive. It was like $4.99. I'm like, forget it.
How much?
I did watch the highlights though.
How much? What was it?
It was like $4.99 plus tax, since I'm from the state of Washington.
Was it $4.99 or $499?
No, I wish. No, it's $49.99.
And that was too much? Did you buy that, Chris?
I did.
Okay, is that what you paid?
Yeah, but
Okay.
Of course I'm rich. Remember?
so 50.
Of course he is.
so $50 was too steep for you?
Yeah, it's too steep for me, but as I said earlier in my last call in, I work at a grocery store, so of course things like buying the pay-per-view, their full price are very steep. But I heard there's a website I can go to where I can just like watch the pay-per-view events for free. I think Ghost was the one who showed me the website.
All right.
So go ahead, elaborate on this. So you bought the wrestling pay-per-view or didn't buy it?
No, I didn't buy it though, but I did watch the highlights today, on YouTube, and I'm glad Chris made the right choice for buying the pay-per-view because it actually lived up to the hype. Because most of the pay-per-views that they always hype that shit up, often don't that live up to it.
So Chris, I don't follow this stuff, and I know that obviously we took the week off, and you did have a party at your house. Was it worth it to you? Was it a good thing? Did you enjoy it? Did it live up to your expectations?
First of all, any week that I don't have to look at Jackal's fucking Deep Purple collection, it makes it worth it. So yes, it's worth it just that level alone. But yeah, it was great. It was fun. People got fucked up, which I liked.
Right. I thought you were saying I don't know if it was this pay-per-view event.
Go ahead and talk through me. That's fine, dude. Go ahead.
Okay, sorry about that, man. But I remember I heard one of your broadcasts saying you don't allow people to ruin your fun while you're watching a wrestling event, those girls who just want to cause drama. I hate that.
Yeah, me too. Definitely not a fan of that.
It's why are you here then?
Oh no, you go right ahead again, dude.
Oh, okay, my bad. I've been the interrupter lately, but anyway, the reason I'm calling you guys though is because the AEW pay-per-view, the ones I did see, the highlights of it are great. Okay. And I'm glad Chris Jericho won is the first ever AEW World Heavyweight Champion, because there's no other wrestler who deserved it more than Chris Jericho.
That's something.
What do you think, Chris? So, were you pulling for Jericho to win the title?
No, honestly,
you
no.
Weren't?
I would have rather seen Hangman Page win it, but
I mean, I wanted to him.
All right, I've had enough of this.
Thank you. I was trying to text it. I couldn't find you in my fucking phone.
That's more than I can handle. It's this is just rambling for the sake of rambling. It's I know you're a fan. I don't watch it, obviously, But this had to go somewhere. What was your point? It was too expensive. I couldn't rent it. I saw the highlights. What do you think, Chris?
Here's my theory, almost universally on the Classic Metal Show.
Right.
If one of us isn't into it on some level, we don't bring it up. Did I bring up the pay-per-view? No, I did not. Because I know you don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
So what kind of conversation are we going to have about it? I'll sit there and go, well, first there was this match, and then there was this, and you're not going to believe what Nyla Rose did. And and you'll be like, uh-huh. Yep. Great.
Yeah, I know that. I know that's a thing for you. I know you enjoy that.
Yeah,
and
I love it.
It gives you a chance to just kind of hang out with the boys and do your thing, So it's kind of like a secondary distraction for you, just to have an opportunity just to hang out, right?
Sure.
But I personally, as much as I've seen some of this stuff, I've seen highlights and various other things. It's like, this does nothing for me. Nothing.
You and Jason could spend the day together then if you've seen the highlights.
Over the years. I mean, and here's the thing. I was actually talking about this to Don's girlfriend.
Yeah.
She's in the production end of it, and we were talking about the WWE. And she was telling me about what a fantastically run organization that is.
AEW or WWE?
Well, whatever it is, the whole wrestling federation thing.
There's two of them. There's
again, see, this is how much I know about it.
Yeah, it's probably WWE.
But she was telling me that they are a big time organization operation.
Oh yeah, WWE, that's $1 billion company.
That's what we're talking about, and how much production that they're into and whatnot, and in the fact that they often call on her and her organization to do things for them.
Right. Okay.
So I would have never guessed, just as somebody who's not a fan, as to how big or how massive business wise that is.
Oh yeah, WWE is huge, dude.
What is the appeal? Who is the core audience for something like this?
Well, I would say it's probably guys our age. It's the same guys that like UFC, really. It's kind of a combination of the thing that's used to be cool about wrestling. It's not as cool as it used to be, but it was the combination of kind of soap opera meets violence.
Okay.
Which it told a story, and then they beat the shit out of each other to fucking solve the problem, whatever the problem was that there was a lead up to for a couple of weeks. They don't do enough storytelling anymore. Now it's just fucking lame match after lame match in WWE, which is why WWE kind of lost their way. They were huge there in the late 90s or mid 90s, I guess. Them and WCW were the two organizations, and it was huge because you had big stars, and it was on mainstream TV, and it was a lot of, there were a lot of big stars that came out of that era. Now, that they're trying to, stupid WWE is trying to placate to everybody now. So it's softer, and they don't let blood be in the matches very often, and nobody gets hit in the head with chairs anymore. None of the good shit. Which is why this AEW is making some noise.
No.
One, it's incredibly well funded.
Well, what does AEW stand for?
All Elite Wrestling. It's just another organization. Like
okay.
WWE is World Wrestling Entertainment.
All right.
And All Elite it's a new organization, and it has guys, some people that people know from the WWE days and from other organizations around the world. There's a bunch of them that are out there. There's New Japan. There's TNA or Impact, I think it's called now. There's Ring of Honor. There's quite a few wrestling organizations out there. And AEW is incredibly well funded. It's owned by the guy that owns the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Okay.
So he's got fat money that he can spend on this thing. And he's doing that. He's buying bigger names, and he's buying TV deals, and, you know, but he's letting these guys do what WWE doesn't do, where WWE stops everything to make sure that it's PG and, you know, plays to the kids. You know, dude, they had this one match on AEW on the last two pay-per-views ago, I guess it was. They had Cody Rhodes fighting his brother, who used to be Goldust in the WWE, and it was so fucking, I've never seen a match more bloody in my life. It was great. He came out in fucking, like, half his face was painted red, and by mid-match, you couldn't tell where the blood stopped and the paint started. Okay. It was fantastic. They beat the shit out of him. I mean, he was cut huge. And even in the last pay-per-view, I don't think it was on purpose. I think it was a total mistake. But Cody Rhodes, who has, like, really blonde hair, like bleachy blonde hair, he got cracked in the head by the side of a chair and split him open. Had to be 15, 20 stitches deep. It was fucking excellent. I loved it.
Well, again, I'm asking as someone who really doesn't know shit about any of this. Since there are champions in these, you know, these realms, you know, obviously some of the biggest names in wrestling obviously was The Rock and, of course, Hulk Hogan, and, you know, those are the old school guys. How do they determine who's going to be the champion when all of this is staged?
I think they try to figure out who will make money is really what they do, and they make that person the champion. If a person has a significant amount of either positive buzz or absolute hate toward them, they will absolutely put a belt on them and have them stomp around as the champion.
Okay.
And again, it's different in the different leagues now, because like in WWE, the champions by and large are usually popular. Seth Rollins is a champion now. He's a popular wrestler. Kofi Kingston is a champion right now. He's a very popular. He has a faction called the New Day, which is a bunch of ass clowns that throw pancakes to the fans and dress in neon colors, and is just plays to the kids.
So they're the Striper of wrestling. Instead of throwing Bibles, they throw pancakes.
Throw pancakes to the crowd. And they had a phase where they were riding an ice cream bike to the fucking thing, and what they stink. I hate the fucking New Day. But they put in the popular guys because they'll sell a lot of merch, and WWE right now they're very focused on charities. They do a ton of charity work, whether it's Make-A-Wish or whether it's, you know, they've launched a few charities, Connor's Cure for pediatric cancer and shit like that. So they have popular champions that go around, you know, having their tour of, we're gonna be the good business. We're gonna do Make-A-Wish, and, you know, they go out and do a Make-A-Wish with some fucking kid, you know,
some fucking kid
that's dying.
Right.
You know, I mean, that's what they do, and more power to them. But it doesn't play to the older fans that could give two shits about Connor's Cure. You know, all we want to see is these guys mashing the fuck out of each other.
All right.
And, you know, and that's why AEW is coming on strong, because they do fucking some really dangerous shit. I mean, they had a tag match, or not a tag. It was just a no rules match last week. And in one of the matches, they took a handful of tacks, stuck it in a guy's mouth, taped it shut, and kicked him in the face. I was like, fucking A, that's gotta fucking hurt. Then in another move, they had a skateboard that was covered with tacks on the bottom of it.
Okay.
He jumped off the top rope, landed the tack part on a guy's back, and then raked it across his back and ripped his back to shit. I was like, yeah! You know, I was all for it.
Well, obviously, these guys, these performers, agree to do these things.
Mm-hmm.
See, I have so many questions about this, because it's just like, because this is all a preconceived notion, and it's just like, well, what we're going to do is we're going to do this and that. Here's the move. And we're going to, as you said, well, we're going to throw tacks in your mouth and tape your mouth shut.
Right.
I mean, do you think that there's any kind of rehearsal for this, any kind of practice, so these guys don't end up suffering some kind of debilitating injury? Or what are your thoughts?
I mean, I know they do rehearse their matches for pay-per-views.
Okay.
And I do know in WWE, a WWE day, like when they have TV or whatever, or when they have an event, the WWE day starts about 10 o'clock in the morning. So I'm sure they go over the script and they memorize what they can and they work out. I don't think everything is scripted per se, but I think moves, like how they're going to end the match is scripted, and I think certain move sets that they're going to do are scripted so that they can transition in and out, because it's very like you said, your friend Jennifer knows it's a very well run organization, and I mean WWE is to the second run. When they do TV, they don't go over and almost. I can count on my hand. I've been watching WWE since the 80s, and I could count on my hand the times that I was watching live TV and it didn't end like appropriate at the right time. Like they went off the air with shit still happening.
Okay.
They really get everything together to the second. They have everything planned out, and the way they do it is by, the refs are all involved. The ref wears a earpiece and tells them when to move and when to, how much time is left and all that other shit. So it's well orchestrated. That's for sure.
Well, I do understand that part, but let me get to you now.
Uh-huh.
Being that it is orchestrated and it is decided who's going to come out the champion, whatever the match is or whatever. What is the attraction for you personally to watch this and go, man, that was great?
It's just stupid fun. It's just
all
stupid
right.
Guy. It's the same, dude. We all know John Wick is not a real person, but every one of us will watch his fucking movies. I mean, that's the. It's like anything. Why do you watch The Godfather? That didn't really happen.
Yeah, but that's a movie though. But this is but these are real people doing a skit for the most part.
Yeah, agree. It's no different. It's the combination. For me personally, I love watching it. I don't love watching it only like by myself. That's boring to me. But if I have somebody over and we get a couple of beers in us or something, and and we're not sitting there going, "Oh my God, this is fake." We just roll with it for what it is,
okay,
and just have fun with it. I mean, for me and my kid, my son that lives in PA, he's big into the wrestling too, and when we watch the pay-per-views, he'll text me. We'll text back and forth through an entire pay-per-view. Be like, "Oh, did you see that?" Or, "Oh, what happened there?" Or "Oh, that didn't look like that should have happened that way," or whatever. We just text back and forth, and it becomes like a thing. And obviously he was here last weekend. He came in for the pay-per-view, and it was cool. To just spend time, and he got loaded. Holy shit. My God.
Okay.
He was bombed, and you think I'm loud? Oh my God. I couldn't hear the fucking TV. But he was here, and my brother was here, and it was just, it was kind of like a family thing sort of that we just did. So it's just fun. I mean, it's dumb fun. It's dumb fun, and yeah, it's orchestrated, but if you watch any sport, do you really believe that all of that is not orchestrated? I mean, come on.
You think the NFL is orchestrated?
I think that there are certainly times in certain games where calls are certainly egregious enough to think, yeah, the fix was in on that.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not arguing. I'm just asking the question.
Yeah, dude, the reason the Saints didn't go to the Super Bowl last year when their fucking receiver got hit 5 yards before the pass got there, and they didn't call an intentional, they didn't call a pass interference. Fuck out of here. It's because the other team would make more money in the Super Bowl.
Okay. I'm not invested in any of this. So to me, and again, I'm well aware of the whole wrestling thing ever since, since the 80s mostly. And I've watched some of it, and it's just like I don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah, and that's cool. But I mean, dude, everybody watches whatever sport they watch because they enjoy some feature of it. And I think the when you add money, you add opportunity to fucking cheat. And at least with the WWE or with wrestling, you automatically know. You know it's a work. So there's no real way to cheat, per se. I mean, cheating is part of it. Wrestling is almost like it's a perversion of all sports. Mm-hmm. Because if you don't think that there is fucking referees, if you watch any NBA basketball, anybody that's a named star, whether it's Harden or whether it's LeBron or whether it's what's his name, Steph Curry or whoever, you watch these guys and they take 6 fucking steps before they shoot the ball, never get called for traveling. Then you see some bum that's like number 12 on the bench and he takes 1/10 of an extra step and they're whistling him to get the ball back into the star's hands. All of it is rigged somewhat. There's a definite reason that you see the Patriots in the fucking Super Bowl every year. Mm-hmm. And the same teams that win in every sport almost universally, whether it's baseball or hockey or football or college football. There's a reason that you see the same teams year in and year out, and that's because there's some work in. And the reason there's some work in is because it's big money.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, I understand the money aspect of it.
I mean, dude, with the Rose Bowl, what would and I don't even watch college sports, so forgive me if I'm naming 2 teams that make sense and I'm just being stupid, but what's going to make more money for the Rose Bowl, which is considered the daddy of all fucking college football bowl?
Yeah, it's the Super Bowl of college.
Yeah. So what would people pay the most money to see it? Would they pay for like Ohio State and
Michigan?
Michigan or Arkansas or whatever Nick Saban's at, wherever that is? Or would they pay to see Cincinnati play Central Texas State?
Right.
It's all about money.
Yeah, I know all about that, but as far as like the appeal of a scripted sport, which obviously wrestling is a scripted sport, I've just never quite grasped the whole, appeal of it. And again, I know it's really popular. I see people, obviously they sell out big arenas when they have these things, but it's just like, boy, I don't get it.
What's the appeal to anything scripted? It's only if whatever they've scripted appeals to you. Mm-hmm. Like you and I, we did a segment 6 months ago or whatever about that horrific One Day at a Time sitcom.
Oh yeah,
on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
That had zero appeal to you or I. Zero.
And it got canceled.
But there were people that did watch it and were like, oh, this is good. There's people that watch highlight. There's people that watch professional gambling, which that one, that to me, I mean, watching people on TV play cards just seems like the ultimate of boring. That or NASCAR.
or golf.
Or golf. At least golf. I mean, most of us have played golf and understand that it's hard.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, you're playing in a massive area, and you're just dealing with one small 2-inch a ball that's only 3 or 4 inches in diameter.
Yeah, I mean, golf at least there is a skill to it. You just have to know. I mean, is there a real skill to playing cards? There's a skill to gambling, I guess, but is there a skill to playing cards?
Well, there is. It's just more. It's more mental. than anything else.
Is it a skill that you would watch? We've all played cards.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've all gone to the casino and plunked down $100 and played some 21 or whatever, or Hold'em or something. But would you ever see yourself turning on the TV and saying, you know what, I got to see this guy fucking go for the big championship at Texas Hold'em?
Well, I know people who enjoy playing cards. It's just like, I know that there's a psychology to it.
Sure.
And in the skillful, what does this guy have, and what did I just play, and what did the dealer just deal out, and I guess it's more mathematical.
It is, but I don't know. Have you ever once spent, and I have, but have you ever spent an hour or two watching the World Poker Championship?
I've watched maybe 5 or 10 minutes and okay, I've had enough of this.
Yeah. If you can't tell me, you watched enough to know, though. You've watched wrestling at least 5 or 10 minutes, right?
Yeah, I have. Mm-hmm.
Wrestling is a bunch of goofy-looking dudes in tights doing goofy shit, correct?
It is.
Watching cards is a bunch of goofy-looking dudes dressed in goofy-looking shit playing cards. True?
That is true.
So it's a similar thing.
Well, but the thing is it preconceived who's going to be the champion at Texas Hold'em?
You could, sure you could.
I'm not saying could it. I'm just saying, do you think it is?
I don't watch it enough to know. Being that it's that there's big money involved, it wouldn't shock me.
Mm-hmm. Well, again, the only reason I bring this up, and again, I know it's popular because a lot of people obviously are into it, and it's a $1 billion industry. But when they already know the organization that is, The Rock is going to be the champion now, or he's going to be the reigning champion. And I'm mentioning old school people because I don't know who the most current people are. But, it's just like, Hulk is going to take the championship again. It's like, we've decided that. So I guess from an inside perspective, I go, well, what do the other wrestlers in that organization think that, okay, guys, Hulk is going to take the championship today, but you're still going to go out there and do whatever it is that you guys do, but you're not going to be the winner today.
Well, a lot of them are just happy to have a job because there's not many of those jobs. But more and more, and especially now in the fucking faggot-ass world of social media, a lot more of them are complaining about that. A lot of them complain about the fact that they make less money. Like the biggest name right now, and he's sort of retired, but he's probably the biggest name, and you've heard of this guy, is John Cena.
Yeah, of course. I know who that is.
And you've seen him. He's done some movies. He's starting to get his rock run in the movie world and stuff now. But one of the biggest complaints about him is that he got so powerful in WWE that he held people back. Like when he was supposed to lose matches or lose championships or lay down for the other guy, he would pitch a bitch and say that he was going to, quit or retire or whatever without letting the other guys get a hold. And it ended up making the product less strong because instead of everybody having some sort of reason to watch these other guys, you knew if it wasn't, like there's certain guys even now, if they wrestle, they're not going to lose. Like one of the guys is Brock Lesnar, the UFC guy.
Yeah, I know who that is.
Yeah, Brock Lesnar he wrestles maybe 3 or 4 times a year, but they always put a belt on him because he's money for the WWE. And, he'll sell, whenever he does show up, he sells a lot of fucking shirts. That's really what it comes down to. Every wrestling fan I know hates him. No one can stand him, but people buy shirts. And he's good for selling. But doing that weekends now, it makes so anytime you see a pay-per-view and the headliner is Brock Lesnar versus whoever the fuck it is, you already know. A lot of times, even me, who is a wrestling fan, if I see that Brock Lesnar is the headline match, I fucking turn it off. I'll watch till they start introducing Lesnar and whoever, and I just turn it off because I know he's going to win.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm usually like, well, I can watch this and be pissed, or I can fucking cut out and save 30 minutes.
There you go.
So, dude, I mean, there's a lot of reasons people watch it. I mean, there is a part of it is it's that one father-son thing that you can do, with your boys, and it's not something that's influenced in a bad way by the wife. You can take your boys and you can fucking have a little bit of it's crossover enough to where it's not totally kid oriented, because it is violent, for a lot of dads, they can't take their kid to like boxing or whatever, or UFC, because it's just too violent, and the moms will never go for that. Right. But they'll go for wrestling. They'll go for wrestling because they see the dummy throwing pancakes out in the crowd. So that's an appeal. And for the grown-up that's taking their kid, you can interact with your kid, and in all honesty, they still have the female wrestlers, which are usually hot as fuck, and that's always an appeal. And right. that's definitely an appeal in WWE right now. They got some fucking hot bitches right now. Fucking Alexa Bliss and Mandy Rose. Holy shit. Talk about taking a gallon of my sperm. Holy smokes. They are hot as hot can be. So it's kind of that combination of all of it. There's some adult stuff, there's some kid stuff, it's all silly. I mean, if you're one of these guys that fucking thinks it's real and you're taking it as such, then you're a moron and you shouldn't be watching wrestling in the first place. Right, I agree. But if you're just out to have fun and you take it as what it is, you take it the same way you would take Hot Tub Time Machine. If you consider Hot Tub Time Machine a real movie about real important things, then you're a fucking idiot. Well, but if you just, for the silly fun that it is, you enjoy it. Right. Well, WWE or any of the wrestling things, it's the Steel Panther of entertainment. Yeah. You're absolutely. That's a great analogy to it. It is definitely the Steel Panther of entertainment. The real entertainment. I think the lowest point is comedians, which is sad, but it is true. Then wrestlers, then TV actors, then movie stars. I think that's the pecking order. I guess so. Yeah, I would say so. Yeah. But you know what? And like with all of those things, there's people that like all of them. I like all four. I like TV shows. I love TV shows. I love acting. I love movies. Although I have one movie that we will talk about tonight that is just fucking terrible. But I like comedians, obviously. Me and you skipped doing the show live so that we could go see a comedian. Right. And I like wrestling, so I'm just a big entertainment guy, I guess. Yeah. Well, speaking of sports, just to mention, I see that former wide receiver Antonio Brown asked the Raiders to let him go, and then he went around and signed up with the Patriots. Yeah. What? Bill Belichick has no shame. Has no shame. He's like, I know this guy's a piece of shit, but I'll bring him in. Yeah, sure. Care. Why not? What the fuck? Who cares? I'll put him. Just think of, on one side, he's got Antonio Brown, who seemingly has CTE and is just a fucking kook. On the other side, he's got Josh Gordon, that's a fucking drug addict that can't keep that can't put millions of dollars ahead of smoking pot. Yeah. Nice team you got there, Bill, you fucking idiot. Yeah, but they'll win again. They're going to win the Super Bowl again, of course. Yeah. Yeah, but Antonio Brown's a fucking turd. Nothing would make me happier than when he finally starts in week 2 if he fucking blows out his knee and never plays again. Right. Fuck him. He's a fucking piece of shit. Embarrassment to the league. Pretty much. Yeah. But so are you ready for football? Are you ready for some football? Are you ready for some football?
Yeah, of course. I'll tune into the Patriots-Steelers game tomorrow.
No, Monday.
Oh, is it Monday?
Yeah, they're Monday night, I think.
I wasn't really following, to be honest with you. I just
don't hold me to that, but I think
I just know that they were opening the season against the Patriots. I thought it was tomorrow, but I could be wrong.
Could be wrong too. Let me see. Patriots. Look real quick, so I'm not giving out stupid information.
Yeah, because
no, I am wrong. It's tomorrow night. It's the 8:30 game.
Yeah.
The NBC game.
Okay.
So there you go. I guess I will watch that game tomorrow night. Okay. Yeah, and I'll be watching my Browns, of course, tomorrow at 1.
Yeah, because you got to have some information for Dog Pound whatever.
Podcast. Yeah, Dog Pound podcast. And John, of course, will be acting like an ass at the Browns game, I'm sure. Dude, he was out at something today. He's such a fucking nerd. He was out. It was I forget what it was that he was at. It was Otto Graham statue unveiling or some shit today. Whatever it was, it's for Otto Graham, who played in the 50s or the 60s or whatever.
Very, very early player.
Long time ago, way before our time. And so there's this clip online of them presenting whatever they're presenting, and I hear stupid John yelling as loud as he can. You don't hear any other fans except John going, Otto! And I'm like, shut up, John, Jesus. Tool.
And you're not talking about the new release, the new record.
Not the new release of Tool.
No.
John is his fandom is to the stupid level. I mean, he's the guy wearing the Baker Mayfield underwear and socks and he's all in.
Yeah, he's the guy who opens up the AC/DC box set and goes, "We're partying, man.
I'm at the Browns game and we're going to do some partying, man."
He's that guy.
I think he's going down there tomorrow at like 8 o'clock in the morning to do some tailgating until 1 and then watch the game.
How do you tailgate for 5 hours?
Well, more to the point, how do you make it to the second half if you tailgate for 5? I could tailgate for 5 hours. I could party for 5 hours. But then when I have to sit down in a chair, I'm falling asleep.
Right.
When if I have to sit down in a chair in section 520 and barely see the team, I'm going to be taking a nap. Fuck that. I'll stay home. I'll just drink right here at the house. I'll order a nice pizza, and it'll be Browns time.
Yeah.
That's all the more I need.
Yeah, I'm going to go out and I'm going to go grill in a parking lot.
It's actually fun. I mean, I used to do it all the time. Big shock there, right? Party, and I was involved. But me and Ed that I work with at Pinball PA, we used to trade every year. Steelers, like I would go to Pittsburgh one year, then he would come here and vice versa, for the Steeler Browns game. And we used to tailgate our asses off, man. It was a ton of fun, and even in enemy territory, it was fun. When I remember one year we went and we were in Pittsburgh and, I was brownsed up, Browns jersey, face painted, the whole thing. And, guys came over like they were going to beat my ass because we parked in like the parking lot right next to the field.
Okay.
and I guess that's not welcomed or whatever in Pittsburgh. But then we pulled out a keg and set it in the trunk. And then the guys came over and couldn't have been nicer.
Yeah. Yeah. Beer makes everything all right.
We shared our beer and we had a damn good time. And I love doing it. I'm just too old for it now. Honestly, and to be honest, I just don't want to waste the money.
Yeah, I get you.
I mean, you're dropping minimum $100 in just shit to party with, booze and beer and whatever, just to go to. And especially if you're going to grill and stuff, you're not going to grab a $5 pack of hot dogs and grill. You're going to grab some fucking good meat. You're gonna have a good grilling session, and you want to drink a shit ton, so you gotta spend $40 to $100 there, and because you're sharing beers and whatever with everybody else. So It's expensive. And then to go to the game, that's another $100 and $8 beers. You know, fuck that. 300 fucking bucks.
Yeah, it's a $300 day.
Fuck that. I'm going to spend $30 tomorrow, and I've got all the beer and a pizza that I need.
Yeah. And
Perfect.
you got a bathroom you don't have to stand in line for.
Yeah, exactly. And then step up to a urinal that's fucking looks like somebody vomited piss out of it because they no one can fucking get their dick aimed into the urinal.
Right.
You ever notice that at a like if you ever go to a sporting event, you go to take a piss late in the game, it does. It looks like the urinal vomited piss because they're too fucked up and they piss on the front of the urinal.
Yeah, of course.
Looks disgusting.
Yeah.
And then anybody that would go to a fucking football game especially and sit on a fucking shitter. What is wrong with you? Just what I don't know that I would sit on a shitter if they cut a hole where my asshole is to take a shit.
Right.
I still don't know that I would want those germs to be able to get to my asshole.
Right.
It's disgusting.
It is disgusting.
Oh, it's fucking horrible.
Haley Kill Call, you're on the air.
Yeah, hey, Lou, one last time. You talking pro football, but yeah, I got to agree with you real quickly about the toilets at a professional sporting event. I mean, I one time tried to take a shit at a professional football game, and the toilet looked like coffee grinds on the inside of it.
Dude,
it was
why
terrible.
do you got to take a shit in public? You couldn't do that at home?
When nature calls, nature calls. You got to go. You got to go, and you got to go. All right, I've taken a piss plenty of times in sinks and trash cans and wherever have you in professional sporting events. But I just wanted to ask Chris, man, being a Browns fan and me being an Oklahoma grad, are you loving Baker Mayfield or are you not buying the hype?
I got to see more. I'm not John. If you listen to the podcast, you'll hear John loves him. I don't hate him. I think he's going to be good, but I got to see it. I am a realist Browns fan. I have been watching shitbag team after shitbag team for 20 fucking years. So believe me when I tell you, I want to go all in, and I cannot until I see it. I think he's a good player. It's only year 2. You know, he hasn't proven it. He proved everything against teams that had no book on him. So let's see what he does this year. I think he'll probably end up being really good, but we'll see.
Yeah, so the over-under in Vegas is set at 10. So would you take the over or the under?
The over-under is 10. Like the spread or?
No, for the season career wins. Is 10. You can bet over, they'll win more, or the under, they'll win less than 10.
I would push. I said I predicted 10.
10.
I think 10-6. I'm thinking 10-6.
All righty, well, that's all I wanted your opinion on. Hail and kill, fuck you, pal, and fuck the niggers.
There's Lou, sports fan Lou.
Yeah.
Now there's a guy who loves his sports.
He does.
I mean, he loves his hockey, he loves his football. I don't think I've heard him mention anything about baseball at all, but he likes the contact sports.
Yeah, of course. Dude, and you know why he was taking a shit at the football game, don't you? Because of the fucking shit that you eat at the football game. You're eating a fucking disgusting chili dog. You know, I've always, and believe me, I'm all about eating shitty food. Look at me. Obviously, I eat shitty food.
I'm all about the shitty food.
I'm all about it, but I know what it is. But, dude, if you ever stop and think about what you're putting into your fat fucking face when you're at any sporting event, you will be disturbed out of your mind. Especially hot dogs. You got a guy walking around with a tin box full of hot water with fucking hot dogs in it.
Mm-hmm.
And he's his dirty hands that are on the rails going up and down that fucking place in and picking up a hot dog and sticking it in a bun and then squirting some fucking shit mustard that's been, you know, in the dirt basically all day long. It's in the heat. It's festering that heat from that fucking hot box. And you're just like, yeah, give me 3 of those. Yeah. Eat this shit. Then you're wondering why you would have to take a shit? Because you ate that. You just ate fucking bacteria.
Right.
You ate illness, literally. It's just, but they taste fucking good, don't they?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever bought a hot dog from a walk-up vendor. I've always gone up to the stand.
What? You've never waved them down?
No.
What about beer?
I don't drink beer.
Oh, you've never bought anything from a vendor at a fucking sporting event?
No, I always go up to the mezzanine.
How many times have you gone to sporting events?
Many times.
That makes zero sense to me. Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not kidding you. I've been, again, I don't, to get up and go up to the mezzanine where the food court is or where the stands are. Yeah, I've never bought like a hot dog off of a guy walking up and down the stairs.
So you never stop, I'm going to ask, do you always wait until between innings or a timeout or in between quarters or whatever?
Yeah, usually, yeah.
That makes no sense to me.
All right, well, again.
I mean, dude, there's nothing better than your team's rallying or whatever, and you're like, yeah, give me a dog.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to jump up if there's something happening on the field, but you kind of pick and choose your times.
Yeah, I get. You are organized at everything. Everything you do is organized.
Yeah, it's thought out. Everything's thought out.
What do you do spur of the moment?
Very little.
Is there anything?
Not really. I usually have a plan. I usually have something in my mind that I'm going to do. Is it just like, yeah, I am not a spontaneous person just to grab something.
Do you decide spur of the moment to go up to the mezzanine, or do you think about it like, well, I'm going to wait until at the end of this inning?
Yeah, that's yeah, exactly. Yep.
You are the most unspontaneous person I've ever met. You don't do nothing without a thought process.
You're right, absolutely.
You don't ever have a moment where you're like, you know what? I really want a bottle of wine. I'm going to go get one right now and run out to the store and get it.
No, because if I have that, I usually already have it in the house.
Jesus Christ. Of course you do. What about like I don't know, like a steak? You'll never just wake up and in the middle, or not even wake up, but you're fucking around at the house or something, and it's like 2:00 in the afternoon, and you're just like, fuck, I need a steak, and jump in your car and go to wherever to get a steak?
No. If something like that, like, there's a local steak place here that I might go to like once every 6 weeks.
Do you know you're going there in the morning?
I know, like by the afternoon. It's like, I'll talk to my coworker and I say, you know what I think I'm going to do tonight after work? I'm going to go have a steak at Kelsey's.
You are unbelievable.
Yeah.
Just nothing. You don't do anything spur of the moment.
Not really, no.
Oh my God.
I got to know that I want to do something so I maximize my bang for the buck.
You make good money. You can waste a couple.
No, I'm not talking physical money. I'm talking about, the effort that it takes, that it's well worth it.
All right, now I got to ask the other side of this question.
All right.
Do you have 10 things in your life? And 10 is a big number, and that's why I'm going for it. For somebody that is completely non-spontaneous like this, do you have 10 things in your life that you look at and are like, wow, I really didn't think this through?
No. Because I hate buyer's remorse. I hate regret.
Do you have 10 things that you've bought that you would say, man, I really shouldn't have bought this?
I don't know if it's so much as I shouldn't have bought this. It's just, it's more or less, I don't even need this.
It's never, this didn't turn out to be what I thought it was going to be.
No.
You're unreal, too.
Yeah. But you buy every little gadget and every little thing under the sun. You go, oh, look at Google Home. I'm going to have one of those.
Yeah.
Me, I'll go, Google Home. What does this thing do? Oh, it does this, that, the other. Okay. And then what else? And then I go, well, how would I use that? Or would I ever use it? It's like, that's a waste. I'm not doing that.
I bought my first Google Home because I got a ad. I mean, I'm the worst. I saw an ad on Facebook for it, and I was like, oh, I got to have that. I can talk to it. And I bought it on the spot.
See, I would never do that. I would go, well, what does this do, and how does it work, and how would I use it? Is it something that it would be useful to me? And it's like, I don't think so.
If you were to dig back through my Facebook, you'd see when I took video of my first Google Home, because now I have a few, but you would see I didn't even know what it did. I really didn't know what it did other than play music. I just wanted it because I thought cool.
I'm not like that. I just don't have any desire just for stuff or just to do something. It's just like, let me figure this one out. Where are we going and what's there and what's the feature? It's not enough for me to go.
Dude, my kid was home last week and he wanted to upgrade his phone, and he came in specifically to upgrade his phone. He's on like an iPhone 6 or whatever. And he was ready for an upgrade. I upgraded everybody's phone but mine, just because, no reason. I didn't really have a reason. They just said that everybody could have new phones and it wouldn't cost any more than I was already spending. So I bought 5 phones. I didn't even think about it. I was like, whatever.
Yeah.
Same price. Fuck it. Do it. I don't care. No thought process.
Yeah. Well, that's just the difference between you and I. I guess that's what makes the chemistry work.
It definitely does.
Because if we were both identical in everything that we do, I think it would be boring.
It would definitely be a dull show, that's for sure.
Yep.
And even more dull in a pre-record.
Well, just like your new mic stand.
Yeah.
I kind of researched that out. I was thinking, okay, do you want the long arm or do you want the shorter arm?
Right.
Knowing how you sit, I opted for the longer stand. I mean, because it comes in different lengths.
Oh.
So I opted for the longer one for you.
Well, it definitely works, but that's why you're the value of the show.
Yeah. So I thought that one out. I go, well, should I get him the short stand or, then I thought about your setup and I thought about how you move that thing around, and it's because like I have the short one.
Right.
And I thought, okay, I'll go with the longer one for Chris.
Oh, it works. It's great.
I know it does.
Perfect length.
But even with the mic stand, I thought that went out. I researched it and thought, okay, I'll get this one for him, and this is what it does, and
Dude,
bang for the buck.
Let me tell you how unthought out I am, and this is going to make you crazy. I must have here in this house, I'm going to say 24 things that I've bought from Amazon that just weren't the right size, the right shape, the right whatever. And then I try to put it on. Like I bought a toilet seat.
Okay, you bought a toilet seat.
Bought a toilet seat. It was apparently I have the long toilet seat instead of the rounder toilet seat, or rounder toilet, I guess.
Right.
It's still sitting here. I bought another one, but I just, if I would have just taken, 3 seconds to go in there and measure the shit, and then look online to see how it measures, I would have avoided this. But not only did I not do that, but when it was wrong, I just don't even return it.
Yeah.
I just throw it in the closet.
Yeah.
Eventually, I'll have this eBay auction with a toilet seat on it. I can't bear. Because dude, and I mean, you've been here. How many boxes do I have all over the fucking place?
Yeah.
Because I don't think about putting shit away or dude, think about when you come over here, how nauseated you get with me with wires. Because you're so fucking, you think everything out. You think about the layout. You think about where the wires are going to be. And you bring those little twist tie or whatever those things, zip ties.
Yeah, wire ties.
Yeah, to hook everything up and make everything right. Me, dude, right now, if you saw my board is covered with wires right now because I had to switch cables with the mic.
Yeah.
The mic, I had to switch to the old thing had built in.
Mm-hmm.
It was built into the,
it was integrated.
Right. So I had to run a new cable. Well, I just half-assed did that and just plugged it into the back, and there it goes.
Well, that's why I said I was going to come by your place before we went to Chris Porter, and I was going to set that all up for you, but you're just like, I'll do it.
Yeah, well, it would have been a lot more efficient if you did it, but unfortunately, playing son had to fucking step in the way.
Right.
So that didn't happen, but yeah, it is definitely interesting how different you are about this shit.
Because I brought my drill with me and the bits and the screws and everything. I brought all that with me.
Yeah.
But when you said, I'll just pick up a box of shit from you, I'll just take it. So I just threw it all in there for you. It's just like, all right, have at it.
Yeah. And actually, I used the clamp from the old one. I didn't screw it in.
Oh, I see.
Just use the old clamp. It works fine.
All right.
Fit. But, dude, before we go to break, I have to share a movie with you.
Okay.
We always talk about movies. I watched a movie this afternoon that actually made me angry at how bad it was.
Okay.
It's on Amazon Prime, and it actually has a somewhat named actress in it.
All right.
Hilary Duff.
All right.
Hilary Duff.
Yeah. That's go ahead.
She's kind of cute.
Blonde girl.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She's kind of a cutie, which is why I watched the movie. The name of the movie, it's on Amazon Prime. It's The Haunting of Sharon Tate.
Oh yeah, I saw the ad for that.
Do not watch this fucking movie.
Garbage.
This is it might be the worst movie I've ever seen. And I've watched Birdemic and Birdemic 2 and Jaws 4: The Revenge. I mean, I'm a bad movie fan. This wasn't bad movie fan good. This was just a fucking bad movie. So, you obviously know the story of Sharon Tate.
I do.
Charles Manson.
Yeah, Charles Manson. She was pregnant. She was the producer's wife.
Yeah, Roman Polanski.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, I was in a Charles Manson mood today.
Okay.
I was like, I'm going to watch these Charles Manson documentaries, and I'm in the middle of watching one now that's like the Charles Manson tapes or something with all these audio recordings of Manson. And so I was like, well, let me watch this movie. And I know you probably would never watch this anyway because it's a reenactment.
Yeah.
Not only is it a reenactment, but it is, and I don't give a shit. If people are thinking about here's your warning. I'm going to spoil this. Not that the movie didn't do enough spoiling for it with its shit plot and even worse acting, but I'm going to spoil it here. I don't care if it is new. So the plot is exactly what you think, the Manson murders.
Mm-hmm.
So you're watching it and it's building up and they're trying to build suspense, and the acting is fucking god awful. I mean, it's literally the guy she's over dramatic in her role, and then there's the guy, whoever the photographer friend is, and he's sitting there going, "Gee, Sharon, don't be so worried. Everything is okay here." And I mean, the read sounds like this. It's a horrible, horrible read, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, just the acting is atrocious, and they're trying to build suspense. Like she's walking in the desert, and the two girls that are like the ones that kill her, walk past her and give her an evil look, and they're doing all the bad music to build it up. I mean, it's just cheese dick fucking movie. But then it gets to the big plot twist, which is that they're in an alternative universe and she doesn't die.
Okay.
Except that then they go further, and then they're in an alternative universe to the alternative universe where she pulls the sheet off of her face and sees that it's really her. It was the dumbest fucking ending to a movie ever. And I don't even know how I got to the end. I do not know how I got to the end. This movie was so bad, but I think I just wanted to see her murdered, so I watched. I honestly think that's what it was, is I hated her so much that I wanted to see her murdered.
Right.
So I kept watching. And then when it turned out that she wasn't dead, and I mean, it was so stupid. There's a fucking tape recording, or a reel-to-reel, no less, of Charlie Manson in her house, and every time the lights go off, this thing turns on by itself and starts playing Charles Manson music, and the whole fucking movie was annoying as shit. And then at the end, when they alternative universed me, and she was alive, and like shot the one guy and killed the other guy, and like all the bad guys were killed, I was like, what the fuck is this? But then they switched back. And then all of a sudden she saw that the people that were really killed were her and her friends.
Okay.
The worst movie ever. Ever. I'm going on record. I saw somebody posted in the thing that it has a 2.9 rating. That's 2.8 more than it deserves. Should get 1/10 of a point for being recorded, and that's it.
Wow.
Nothing else. It is. I did see that, like on Metacritic or something, it's rated as an 8 out of 100. So, but of course I didn't see any of that till I was pissed off at the end of the movie and was like, people can't be liking this, right? And then of course no one likes it. I should have looked it up ahead of time.
It was garbage.
The worst, dude. Amazon Prime, I know they're trying to compete with Netflix and all that, but for fuck's sake, watch the movies before you post them.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. You know, and to answer whoever said this in the chat room, no, I didn't expect it to be fantastic because Hilary Duff was in it, but I expect it to be competent, right? I mean, she's a known actress on some level. She's not, you know, hey, there's that lady that I've seen in all these movies and never seen her name before.
Right.
You know, she's not that. We know her name, so she's done at least something competent. This was not it. Holy shit. Just horrible, dude.
All right. I will avoid that one.
Avoid it like the plague.
But you made it to the end, though, right?
I did make it to the end and was thoroughly pissed off.
Yeah. Well, apparently so.
So that's my review of The Haunting of Sharon Tate.
Just terrible.
Terrible. And if that wasn't enough, I should have known this right from the start because I'm not stupid. I didn't think of it. She's not even hot in the movie because she's pregnant.
Oh.
She's pregnant because she's playing Sharon Tate.
Yeah, of course.
So she's pregnant through the whole movie, so you get big fat Hilary Duff. And even the back shots, they like patted her ass, so she had a big fat ass. Fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Just garbage.
Well, that Hilary Duff's sister, Haley Duff.
Yeah.
She played that Summer Wheatley in Napoleon Dynamite.
She was the girl. She also was in Sons of Anarchy. She was the girl that was on the motorcycle, wasn't she? That I think, is that her? Or no, that's that other girl. Tisdale. Ashley Tisdale. Never mind. Haley Duff. She's the one with the fucked up nose,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
She's got the big ball end on the nose. That's why she's not the famous stuff.
Yeah, she's not the famous one.
Yeah, she's the one that, you know, was half a chromosome off.
Yeah, she was Summer Vote for Summer.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Am I wrong? She could have been hot, but she's like almost hot.
Yeah. All right, well, let's play a couple of tunes. I'm going to play a tune for our fallen friend Motorhead.
All right.
And I'm going to play some Killed by Death.
All right, there we go.
So this is for you, Motorhome. Rest in peace, my friend. So here it is. It's Motorhead, Killed by Death, exclusively here
on your classic metal show.
Hello, boys and girls. Hello. Lemmy from Motorhead here, and you're listening to the Classic Metal Show. And it says you're right.